All right. So if you are ready, what I want you to do is get comfortable. This is going to be the most important things. Oftentimes, in my opinion, in meditation, too much focus is placed on the sitting position while meditating, and though it's important, um, it's not so important that it causes discomfort. Discomfort causes distraction. So I want you to get comfortable. And as you progress through this, the next couple weeks with me, or if you do it on your own, if you want to start working on your positioning and how you sit and investigating that, and do it a little bit at a time, that's completely up to you. But for right now, all I want you to do is just to get comfortable. Okay. We'll cultivate our meditation skills first, and then we'll work on our position. Okay. Now, with that said, I want you to be mindful of your posture. If you can, make sure try to make your back straight, that kind of thing, because it is important. So, I'd like you to please get comfortable. And now you may lie down on your back if you wish. You may recline in a chair. If you are not reclining, but you're rather sitting in a chair, if you're sitting upright, probably best to try to put your feet flat on the floor. Try to sit up straight, but again, make sure you're comfortable so you can put a pillow behind you, get a little bit of supportive position. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit in a half lotus or a full lotus position, or just simply with your legs crossed. A lot of people find it easier. I know I do. I don't. I'm not very bendy, so when I'm sitting on the floor, I cross my legs and I sit on a cushion or a folded blanket. Kind of elevates my hips and takes the pressure off with that. So feel free to do that. Again, just get in a comfortable position and get settled in. Okay. All right. So I would like to ask you at this time to close your eyes, and I'd like you to take a deep breath in. Inhale through your nose, and then when you exhale, just exhale through your mouth. Remember to keep your eyes closed, and do that again. Inhale through your nostrils. Make sure it's a deep breath. Exhale through your mouth, and let's do that a couple more times. Just inhale and exhale. Okay, good. This time, I want you, when you take your inhale, I want you to take in a big, deep, full breath all the way in. When you can't take any more, I want you to blow it out and make as much noise as you like. I mean, let it out, let it rip. Just give it all you got. Good. And then inhale and exhale again. Continue normal breathing. Um, and while you're beginning to breathe normally, I want you to turn inward very quickly, and I want you to observe how you feel after those first few breaths and your loud exhale, your sigh of relief. Take a moment to take some inventory with that as you breathe. Now, this is important because this is the essence of mindfulness. And this is what we're doing here. It's very simple. We use our breathing as a tool to initiate a physical response, a relaxation. And as well, we want to increase our internal awareness. And as we progress through the weeks, we will explore this in greater depth. Okay. Um, but while we're on the path to relaxation, let's continue. I want you to take another deep breath in, but this time I want you to do it slowly through your nose, all the way in, and then slowly with control, I want you to exhale out through your mouth. And I'd like you to do this a few more times, please. Now, as you continue to breathe, I want you to understand that right now you are in a safe space. And this is important because we will talk a lot about this in the coming weeks. But oftentimes, many people probably, well, of course I'm in a safe space. I'm at home or whatever. But it's important that we acknowledge this because many times through our thoughts with anxiety and our anger and our worry, we mentally take ourselves to an unsafe place. And it's important that we are aware of reality. And the reality is that you are sitting in a safe space. You are comfortable. You are among friends here who you share a unique bond with. And and I want you to understand that there is nothing for you to judge here. Nothing. Everything outside of what we're doing right here can wait. Right, you are right here, right now. This is about you. It is about your health. It is about your happiness. It is about your well-being. There is nothing to do. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be said. There are no problems that need to be solved. Right now, it is just you and your breath. Period. Please keep that in mind as we begin to go. And so, as you continue breathing, if you begin thinking about tasks and chores, you begin worrying about work or any other problems in your life or anything else distracting, if you hear a noise, anything distracting, I want you to do something different than you may normally do. I want you to take a moment and acknowledge to yourself what you've just witnessed, whether it's a thought or it's a sound, whether it's a cramp or whatever. I want you to witness it. I want you to actually maybe say to yourself, oh, that was a sound in the kitchen, or oh, I'm thinking about my to do list tomorrow, or oh, I'm thinking about this. Just acknowledge it. Now, don't judge it. This is important. It is neither good nor bad. It's not really happening. Well, the sound may be happening, and if you have a mountain lion who's crawled in your kitchen window, then it's probably an exception to this rule. But for the most part, it's not real. Don't judge it as good or bad. Just witness it. Just acknowledge that you witnessed it. And then don't be harsh or scold yourself for your thought wandering. That's what our minds do. I simply want you to acknowledge it and return back to your breathing. Deep inhale in, deep exhale out through your mouth. Okay. As you continue to breathe, I want you to begin to turn your awareness inward again. This time, as you turn your awareness in, I want you to step back mentally from yourself. And I want you to take inventory on how you're feeling right now. This could be anything. I am not going to tell you what you're supposed to feel. I'm not going to tell you what you need to find. I want you to just take inventory. It could be anything. It could be physical sensations in your body. What physical sensations are there? Are there any emotions? Oftentimes when we do this, we begin to discover emotions maybe we didn't know we had. Um, Stress or anxiety or happiness or whatever it may be, and we don't really take the time to stop and acknowledge it. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to discover these sensations. Please be mindful of your breath. Please continue breathing. If you hold your breath, I'm not there to help you begin breathing again. So make sure that you continue breathing. And as you discover these sensations and emotions, again, simply observe them. Even if they're negative, it's stress, anger, anxiety. Don't judge them. Just observe them. Just simply observe as if you were watching it unfold from afar, if you were watching a TV show or watching someone else go through it. And if we observe without preconceived judgment, we we allow our minds to be open to explore, and this leads to new discoveries and better understanding about ourselves. So instead of shutting it down and running away from, especially negative emotions, instead of running away from it, we begin to learn what's really causing it, the underneath causes, and what kind of things it's causing in the body, what kind of physical reactions and other emotions, and how that leads to other things. And once we learn more about ourselves and discover those, we're able to begin making adjustments and towards healthier emotions and healthier reactions. So simply stay in this state, continue breathing, continue observing. When your thoughts wander, simply bring them back. So do that. I'll be quiet for a few minutes and stay in this moment if you would. Okay. Now I want you to slowly start to bring your attention back to where you are, but don't open your eyes just yet. Maybe begin wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, then slowly progress to subtle movements of your hands and your feet. Um, and then slowly bring your body completely back to life. If you are asleep, and then just keep sleeping. We won't wake you, and we'll just all talk to you tomorrow. Um, But if you're awake and you begin to fully come back to where you are, take one more big last deep breath and give yourself another big sigh of relief. I hope that felt good for you. I hope it gave you a new meaning of the sigh of relief. I know several years ago when I began doing this, and someone really explained it, just a term I'd use, sigh of relief, my whole life, and I didn't really understand how it was associated with the breath and the stress response, which we'll get in more into the stress response later. So the last thing I want to say to you is I want to challenge you to take particular attention to how you feel mentally and physically right now. And I want you to try to carry that with you for the rest of the evening and perhaps even to tomorrow. Um, this is really the goal of the mindfulness training. This is where we're headed. This is what we want. Um, the goal eventually is not to just meditate and feel better until it wears off and then you need to meditate again. Though there's certainly nothing wrong with that. That's certainly a great strategy, and I highly recommend it. The long-term goal with the practice is to, when you meditate and practice mindfulness and we cultivate these positive emotions, that we are able to carry that with us throughout the day. And eventually the goal will be to, you won't really need to sit in meditation because you're able to be mindful and aware throughout the day. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm close, but I'm a work in progress, as I told you. So, but that's ultimately where we're headed. We won't get there in 10 weeks. Some of you might, but most of us won't. That's okay. That's okay. So, but this is really the point. We're learning the skills that help us learn to heal, and then we want to integrate them, into our daily lives. So, again, I want to thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited about what we're doing here. I think this is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a great evening. I can't wait to see you again next week.